Welcome to the Flautist and the introduction to the Kohler studies and Kohler, Opus 33, books 1, 2 and 3. Opus 33 is probably his most famous series, easy, intermediate and advanced. Kohler was late 18th century, early 19th century German flute player, composer. He did write one opera. And he was taught by his father, who was the first flute in the Duke of Modena's orchestra. He also spent a lot of time as first flute in the St. Petersburg in Russia orchestra. He had a lot of students, and I think that's probably where he got his inspiration to write a lot of the etudes that he wrote. Because teaching and playing, we get a really good insight into the difficulties of flute playing, technique and expression, articulation, and getting an insight into what we should be looking for. And that's what I really like about these studies. These studies give us a great opportunity to get an insight into choice of tempo, skeletons, so looking at the underlying beauty of a musical line or a study. That's what I really like about Moyes, and I find his maybe sense of humour in number 24. The last one in the 24 little melodious studies is that the melody, the underlying melody, the skeleton is number 2 melody, but in the dominant minor, and he's ornamented it. And if you weren't looking, you'd miss it. You would think he was trying to just teach you even fingering over 7 groups of 7, which he is. But there's an underlying melody there which needs to be brought out along with the fingering and the phrasing to do with the groups of 7. So I think these books are similar, and I love to start with book 1 because I think it doesn't matter whether you're a beginner, a teacher or advanced. It's a really great way to refresh your ideas of looking at tempos, of looking at key colours, how to change in and out of major and minor, even when there's just an inflection. For a beat and a half or something, we can move our way through expressive phrasing and colour, and different articulation patterns and skeletons, and phrasing. I think the most important thing, especially in book 1, is phrasing, the opportunity to be able to learn to control phrasing, intricate phrasing, articulations, because it doesn't matter how many notes are written on a page. We have to phrase. We have to make it beautiful. We have to be able to control a musical message and deliver a story with everything we do. We can't just play the notes on a page as fast as we can and get as many into 30 seconds as we can. We have to phrase. The only way to play fast is to control your playing musically and expressively and tone-wise slowly. So that's the overall arching look at Kohler and these studies and why I've chosen them and why I'm starting with book 1. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you get a lot out of looking at tempos, skeletons, phrasing, key colours, moving around, and telling a story. Each one has a different story to tell. So make sure there is a contrast between the studies, and make sure that you look inside them, and you're not a player that might get to number 24 in the 24 small melodious studies and just see, did a little groups of 7 that your fingers have got to be even. Yes, they do have to be even, but there's a beautiful musical message in the in number 2 being the melody in the dominant, which is a different colour. E minor is a different colour to A minor. And, I think he was hoping that we would see that. So whilst Moyes is delivering that message, I do believe that Kohler is also delivering that message. Look deep inside whatever we're doing, whatever the phrase is, whatever the study is, whatever the articulation is. Step outside the square and look into it and get a really deep insight into it, because then I think our playing takes on a whole new dimension. So that's the introduction, and I hope you enjoy the series.